What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training. And today we're going to be comparing Davante Adams' route running to two 5-star wide receivers on this slant corner route, and then we're going to be looking at a dive release off the line of scrimmage. So we're going to be talking about some of the main similarities and main differences between probably the best route runner in the NFL and some of the best wide receivers coming out of high school this year. And the reason for this video is just to show you guys that there's always room for improvement. There's always things that you could get better on. So if you're one of those younger guys who are trying to get up to that recruitable level, you got to improve on these specific things, okay? So I hope this video helps you guys out. But also, fellas, if you guys are local to Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, or Los Angeles, California, we are going to be coming out to those 9 locations for 2-day quarterback and wide receiver training camp. So we'll be having live one-on-ones, live 7-on-7, and positional skill work for 2 days. That's 8 hours of training for you guys. So if you guys want to come out, get some working with us, spots are limited. We're keeping things small. Check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you out to one of our camps. Let's get started with this video, okay? So now we're looking at this slant corner right here. So this is from a receiver called Chaz Preston. I believe that's how you say his name. 5-star wide receiver, highly recruited guy. And we're going to talk about the difference between this slant out route and this slant out from Davante Adams right here, okay? So now the main difference I want to talk about is the cut. So many wide receivers at the younger level struggle with this, is that they do a great job. They're explosive off the line, right? I think we can all agree that these guys are some very explosive athletes coming out of high school. But the thing that a lot of wide receivers struggle with is that at the top of their breaks, they're not sudden and they don't make that tight change of direction, especially when you get to the next level, fellas, especially when you get to that, like if you're a youth guy getting up to high school, if you're a high school guy going up to college going up to NFL, all three of those jumps, the windows get tighter and tighter because the DBs get better and better and better. So we have to be very precise with my movements. I can't have any wasted motion. The whole point of training, the whole point of going over detail work is to eliminate wasted motion. So when this receiver breaks to the slant right here, this cut that he makes is not that explosive, right? It's kind of a soft cut. He's not shooting it in the grass. He's not trying to create energy. Now, when you don't have a sudden cut, the whole point of having a sudden cut is so you could turn the corner tight. Just like at the top of like a comeback route, the whole point of dropping your hips violently is so you make a tight cut so the DB doesn't have space to react. So when we have a softer cut with the break, and again, it's tougher for these bigger guys, you're going to have a very much so rounded route. We're going to have a rounded break. It's not going to be a sharp 45-degree angle cut, right? And obviously, taking those sharp cuts, eliminating wasted time, which is what this is right here, this roundedness of the route, that's all wasted time. And when I have wasted motion, wasted time, that gives that DB a great position to recover. And you see, he's able to get right on this route. He's in a position to make a play, but this guy's able to go up high point this ball and make a play because obviously he's a very talented receiver. But that wasted motion created from not having that sudden cut is one of the main differences that I see in these routes, right? So let's show the Davante Adams clip right here, right? So he's doing the exact same thing. He's running to the slant against man coverage, trying to get him to bite on the slant, then he's breaking back up to the corner. Now, when you see him burst to the slant right here, you see how sudden that movement is. He's shooting that cut in the grass. He's committed, pop, and you see how tight of a turn he's able to make simply because of that. He's not breaking this thing off and rounding the hash, rounding up into this safety. He's being very sudden with his movement, very sudden with his cut, and he's able to turn tight on that 45-degree angle, and you see how much more space he's able to get. We know when we are making a break as a wide receiver, so if we can be sudden and we eliminate wasted motion, this is the result. The DB is going to round his break rather than me because I know when the break is coming. I know how quick I have to turn. I know how tight I have to turn that corner. So again, like I said, the reason I show this clip is because even some of those guys that a lot of people look up to at the high school level, like, oh man, he's a 5-star, right? That term gets thrown around all the dang time. And they're obviously freak athletes. And obviously, they go any school they want to go to. But there's always room for improvement. There's always ways that you guys can get better. And so I hear it all the time. High school wide receivers be like, hey, I'm good on the route running. I just need to get faster. It's like, no, you're probably not good on the route running. You probably need to get a lot better on a lot of different things. So you can always get better. You can always improve your skills because you want to compare yourselves to some of the top guys in the world. And Davante Adams is probably the best route runner. So that's the purpose of this video, to show you guys that there's always room for improvement. There are always skills that you guys can improve on. So make sure, fellas, when we're making breaks to the top of the route, if you're not making those sharp, tight cuts, you need to get better at being sudden with your feet. You need to improve your ankle stability, leg strength, knee stability to make those sharp cuts. It's not unreachable. It's not like these guys are some freak athletes. I've seen it. I've trained athletes. I've developed athletes that have that did not have skills going in that can make those sharp turns, sharp cuts, dropping their hips violently, that have come out and have done that just by simply putting in the time and putting in the work. That's what you got to make sure that you're doing. So again, make sure, fellas, to make yourself separate from those guys on your team. Be a better route runner. runner. You have to be sudden with your cuts so you can make those tight change of directions to get more separation from this DB, and you see the result. We got about 5 yards of separation in the end zone for that matter. That is extremely rare, but that solely comes from his ability to sell the route, and that's easy. But how can you get out of that break? Can you eliminate wasted motion, and can you eliminate wasted time? Let's watch both of these routes again full speed. Obviously, Peterson's a very talented dude, not trying to knock the guy. Just again, I think he would agree. If that cut's more sudden and he takes a tighter turn to that thing, that DB doesn't make as much separation. Then you look at Adams, that sudden cut, you could see it pop into the grass. That's what gives him that tight cut and is able to make some separation. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about a dive release here. So this is 5-star wide receiver committed to Texas A&M, Evan Stewart, and he's going to be doing a dive release. Okay, then we're going to be looking at the exact same release from Davante Adams. Okay, so let's play both the clips full speed. So we come off here, gives a little move, dive release to the inside. You see how he kind of gets a little stuck on that release. Now, when we look at Adams do this release, he's not getting stuck at all. He's able to open up. He doesn't drag that back foot, and he doesn't reach outside of his frame. So many high school wide receivers love to reach. They love to step way outside their frame. They love to drag their back foot. And this is a perfect example of why you don't want to do that. So you see how Stewart, when he comes off here, he bursts to the inside. And you see how he kind of reaches with this cut. That cut goes way outside of his frame. And what does that back foot do? That back foot kind of drags. And you see how he gets stuck right there. There's really no burst. There's really no push off of this cut. Fellas, the whole goal of making a cut at the top of the route, like you got to sell the route number one. That's the first phase of the route. Phase two is you got to be explosive, right? And he has that. But because we reached outside of my frame, I can't get to that third phase of the route, which is the acceleration phase. And that comes from driving off of the cut leg. You want to be cutting on the arch of your foot and driving off the inside arch. But when you guys step way ahead of yourself, you cannot push off of that foot. You cannot drive off of that cut. So you got to make sure that it's underneath your frame. That cut should be probably like half a yard backwards. Because if he could do that and he could be underneath his frame, at least he could drive off of this and open up his hip rather than drag the back foot and get stuck right here, right? And again, we did a great job of selling the route. That's what got the DB to commit to this thing. But watch when Davante Adams runs this route. He's at the top of the screen here. And when he does this dive release, right, gives that little wide step, 1, 2, 3. You see how when he cuts, it's inside of his frame. Does he drag his back foot? No, he does not. He's able to just open up that back foot. You see how he's able to push off of this drive leg, open up that outside leg to get back on that horse, to accelerate back upfield, and then be able to go. And again, this receiver, it's not like he got a ton of separation because that receiver just traded off. They thought they were tangling those two receivers. That's why he ended up so wide open. But look at the mechanics of the cut. That's the smoothness that those guys at the next level have. When you guys see an NFL guy run routes in person that's legitimate, that's like a legit route runner, you see him, it's like those little details are non-existent. Those little details of him getting stuck at the break, dragging his feet, those are non-existent because they're going up against the best DBs in the world week in and week out. Davante Adams is matched up with their best defender every single week, so he can't afford to have those wasted steps that maybe a high school wide receiver can have going up against a chump DB, right? So we got to make sure that we're able to eliminate wasted motion, fellas. If you guys want to be a better route runner, eliminate wasted motion. Cut inside your frame. Be on the arch of your foot. Drive, open up your hips, get back to picking your feet up, not dragging and stepping outside of your frame to get stuck at the top of the route, okay? So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps you guys out. Let's watch the thing again full speed. Just make sure we do not reach. It's not about reaching. Reaching will not sell the route. Your upper body sells the route. The speed of your cut, the explosiveness of your cut will get you out of the break fast with all wasted motion eliminated. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you guys out, showed some insight on just some of the differences between, some of the best recruits in the world and some of the best actual route runners in the world, right? Just to be able to show you guys what you guys can improve on. There's always room for improvement. There are always aspects of your game that you guys can get better on, and that's the mindset that you need to have. And if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. And again, fellas, if you guys are local to one of those 9 states mentioned, 2-day-long quarterback and wide receiver training camps, very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you guys out to one of our camps, improve your skills, one-on-one opportunities, 7-on-7 opportunities. I will be there. You guys will get to work with me along with the staff of coaches that I am bringing out. First one's in January in Tampa, Florida. Would love to see you guys out there. I'll see you guys next time.